The topic of today's discussion is rectification of errors. These are the errors which are there in the ledger and because of which our trial balance does not tally. So let us first of all categorize them and discuss. The first kind of errors are errors of principle. Now these errors are committed whenever we commit an error in contravention of accounting principles. For example, we buy furniture and debit that to, say, purchase account. Now purchase account is a revenue expenditure and furniture is a capital expenditure. If this mistake has happened, it will result in two things. First of all, because furniture has been booked to purchases, it will increase our purchases and this will result in decreasing our profit. So that means our profit and loss account will depict wrong profit, number one. Number two, we have an asset that is furniture which will not be depicted in our balance sheet. Again, another mistake. Okay. Though this is a mistake which is affecting two accounts, purchase account and furniture account. That's why this will not affect our trial balance. Both sides of trial balance, that is debit side and credit side, will remain same. Though it is an important mistake. So such mistakes are rectified by passing a journal entry. In this case, earlier you had debited purchase account and credited, say, bank. Purchase to bank. Instead of purchases account, there should have been furniture account. So what you can do is now debit furniture account and credit purchase account, which was earlier wrongfully debited. So your entry should be furniture account debited to purchase account with whatever the amount of furniture bought. So these kind of errors can be rectified by putting a journal entry. Other examples of errors of principle are, for example, while installing machinery, you have done some expenditure on wages and you have debited your wages account. Again, it's an error of principle. Now, what will be its rectification entry? It will be machinery account debited to wages account, because that amount was to be capitalized actually. That should have been debited to machinery account. Okay. Such kind of errors are called errors of principle, and I must tell you that all those mistakes which affect two accounts do not affect our trial balance. Our trial balance is always affected by those mistakes which affect one account only. Okay. Let us move on to the other set of errors. They are errors of omission. Now, errors of omission could be of two types: total omission and partial omission. Now, what is errors of total omission? This is sales book before you. Okay? And if by chance we have sold goods to some person and we have not recorded that in sales book. For example, we sold goods on credit to Mr. X, but we have not recorded here. Now what will happen? Mr. X will not be debited in the ledger. His account will not appear in the ledger. Secondly, the amount of sales will not be shown in this figure. It will not be adding to this figure. Because of this, the trial balance will still tally. All those entries which are there in the sales book, all those people will be debited as they have been done here, and total of sales account has been credited to sales account. Okay. Now all these accounts, for example, Ram account 5,000, Sham 10,000 and Suresh 3,000 are there. Total comes to 18,000 and sales account 18,000 is here, right? And your trial balance is telling. though the mistake that you have not recorded credit sales to Mr. X is there, but this is still tallying. Why? Because again this is affecting two accounts. And how will you rectify it? Again you will have to put an entry for it. What will be the entry for this? Can you guess? Yes, I think you have guessed it rightly. It should be X account debited to sales account with whatever the amount of sales. This error will be removed like this. Now we will come to errors of partial omission. Now what is this partial omission? Partial omission means you have recorded one part of the transaction but you have not posted it to the ledger. For example, we have sold goods to Ram for 5,000. Okay, we have recorded it in sales book, that is a book of original entry. But if we by mistake don't post it to Ram account, for example, we don't post it here. Now what will happen? Because of this, Ram's account will not appear in the trial balance, and the total of trial balance will be on the debit side 13,000, but sales total is 18,000, so sales account will be credited by 18,000 and it will appear here at 18,000. It will result in a difference of 5,000 in the trial balance. Is it right? So these kind of errors are called errors of partial omission, because one aspect that sales have been done has been recorded properly, but it has not been debited to Ram's account. So it's a partial omission. Okay? Such an error is affecting only one account, that is Ram's account. That's why our trial balance is also not telling. Now how we go about rectifying these errors? There are two ways of rectifying them. One is you simply write in the Ram's account like this, to posting omitted on this and this date, and you write the amount here. Okay? With this, his account will appear here and your trial balance will tally. This is one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is through the suspense account. Now how to do these errors, how to rectify these errors through the suspense account, I will come to that in my later stage. First of all, you must understand that what kind of errors are there and how we rectify. You must remember that we can rectify them through suspense account also. Okay? Now the next set of errors is errors of commission. Now what are these errors? Now first of all, errors of commission is, for example, you have sold goods to Ram for say 5,000 here, but you record this in books as 15,000. Now what will happen? Your sales will also, you have recorded it more by 10,000. So sales book total will also increase by 10,000. It will become 28,000. And with this, what will happen? Your sales account will be credited by 28,000 and Ram's account will be debited by 15,000. Okay? In this case, what has happened? You have made a wrong recording in the original book of entry. Now again, this mistake is affecting two accounts. One, of Ram, he has been wrongly debited with 15,000. He should have been debited only by 5,000. And sales account has been credited by 18,000. It should have been credited only by, it has been credited by 28,000. It should have been credited only by 18,000. 10,000 increases because of this mistake. Now trial balance will still tally because this account is affecting two accounts with the same amount. Now RAM account is being debited by 10,000 more and sales account is being credited by 10,000 more. For example, it will appear like this. Here it will be 15 and here it will be 28. Your trial balance will still tally. Now how to rectify it? Naturally, we'll have to put an entry with the difference of amount, that is 10,000. Since sales have been over credited by 10,000, our entry will be sales account debited to RAM 10,000. This is the way it will be rectified. This is an error of commission, that is where you have recorded wrongly in the books. Okay. Now second kind of error of commission could be that you have recorded it properly here, but maybe instead of debiting to the right person, you have debited on the right side of the wrong person. For example, you made sales to Ram of 15,000 for example, but you debited it to say Ramesh account. Let it be Ramesh account. And it will appear in trial balance as Ramesh. Again, you see, this amount should have been debited to Ram, but it has been debited to Ramesh account. But it is not making any difference to our trial balance. Total will still remain 28 and here 15. Instead of Ram, it is Ramesh account. But it is telling. Now, how we will rectify this? Now, wrongly Ramesh's account has been debited. Naturally, that fellow should be credited. And Ram, who is the real purchaser of, real seller of goods. I'm sorry, actually this is sales book, so yeah. So actually Ram should be debited. Ram should be debited. And the person who has been wrongly debited should be credited. So your entry should be Ram account debited to Ramesh. Ram account debited to Ramesh. 15,000. It is as simple as that, right? Now another mistake could be that you have debited the right person's account but with wrong figure. For example, you sell goods to Shyam for 10,000. Okay, but while debiting to Shyam account, you debit only 1,000. This is such an error all of us commit. It can happen to anyone. Now with this, what is going to happen? That in your trial balance, it will be only 9,000 here. Okay. So it will become how much? 15 plus 1, 16, 16 plus 3, it will become 19,000. It will become 19,000. But here the amount will be 15 plus 10, 25 plus 3, 28. It will be 20 on this side. Now what is the difference? 9,000. Your credit side is more by 9,000 for the simple reason. Because instead of debiting Shyam with 10,000, you have debited him with 1,000. Now this is an entry which is affecting only one account, that is Shyam's account. This is the reason our trial balance is not telling. Now as I told you earlier, there are two ways of rectifying it. One, you can simply put it in Shyam's account like this. 2 less debited on this and this date and put 9,000 here, and the other is through suspense account. Actually, entry in that case will be Shyam account debited to suspense account. But as I told you earlier, we will deal with this thing later in this chapter. Okay? This is one way of doing it. Another kind of error of commission could be that we do the posting on the wrong side of right account. For example, we sell goods to Suresh for 3,000. Now this fellow should be debited, but instead of debiting him, if we credit him, it can happen like this. Instead of debiting him, we credit him by sales account 3,000. Now what will happen? Here, while preparing the trial balance, Suresh account will not be shown on the debit side. It will be shown on the credit side. Shyam account 3,000. So this side will become how much? 31,000. And this side will remain how much? 15,000. How much is the difference? 16,000. Why this? Why this? Because, this is actually 15 plus 10, it is 25,000, and that is 31,000. So difference is for 6,000 only. And difference is because instead of debiting Suresh account, we have credited his account. By mistake, I have put Shyam here again by mistake. It is actually this fellow, that is Suresh. Now again, this is a mistake which is affecting only one account, and that's why your trial balance is not telling. Now how to rectify it? Now this fellow should have been debited by 3,000, and instead of this he has been credited by 6,000. Now first of all, we must reverse the credit we have given to him. That is, we must debit him first of all with 3,000 which we have wrongly credited him, and then we must debit him with 3,000 by which he should actually have been debiting, right? So entry in this case shall be Suresh account debited 6,000 to suspense account. This is if you do it through suspense account, but otherwise you can simply write here in Suresh account to amount wrongly credited on this and this date, and put 6,000 here. So this way the net difference will be 3,000 debit to him, and this 3,000 will disappear from this side and will appear on this side, and our trial balance will again tally. This will disappear from this side, and our trial balance will tally again. That's it. So these kind of errors are called errors of commission. Another thing can happen is sometimes while carrying forward the balance of an account, we could commit a mistake. For example, while carrying forward the Ramesh account with 15,000, we may write 1,500, and this will make a difference of how much? 13,500 less in his account. So our trial balance will not tally, and this can be rectified again in the same manner. Okay, so these are errors of commission. Now what are compensating errors? Now compensating errors, as the name says, they are the errors which are actually compensating each other. That means there are two or more errors, the effect of which is to cancel out each other's effect. For example, your sales book has been overcast by 1,000 rupees. That means there is a credit balance of 1,000 more. And similarly, in the cash book, the discount column has been totaled 1000 more. Now, discount account is a debit balance. That means in your trial balance, debit balance in commission in this discount account will appear 1000 more, and on your trial balance, credit sales account, which is a credit balance, will appear 1000 more. These two mistakes will compensate each other or offset each other's effect, and your trial balance will still tally. Now, such errors are called compensating errors. Okay. Now, with the help of an example, I will explain you how we can rectify these errors with the help of suspense account. So you will have to bear with me for a while I write the question for you. Now, here is one question. Okay, let us first write the trial balance. Trial balance as at, trial balance is always on a particular date. Okay, all the accounts having debit balances will be kept here, and all the accounts having credit balance will be kept here. Now you see, now purchase account, on which side it should come? Naturally, purchase account is a debit balance, so it shall come on debit side. It is here 4,50,000. Second is Ravi account, 10,000. Third is Naresh account. This is 12,000. We have commission account, 3,000. Furniture, 30,300. Machinery, 1,05,000. Cash, 30,000. Total of this side comes to 6,40,300. And on the credit side, sales is 6 lakhs. Then Sunil account, 12,000, and 15,000 in the Narayan account. Okay, the total of this side is 6,27,000. Now, what is the difference between two sides? 6,40,300 minus 6,27,000. How much it is? 13,300. You see, that means all those errors are having an effect, net effect of that our credit side is short by 13,300. So we can place this amount in the suspense account. We'll write like this. Here, suspense account, 13,300. So with this, our sides will tally. Okay. Now here we will open suspense account. Okay. Now, first of all, first mistake, posting not done in Ravi's account from sales book 2000. Again, posting not done in Ravi's account sales book 2000 rupees. It means what? It's an error of commission. Okay? Though it has been recorded properly in the sales book, but you have not posted to Ravi's account. Now what should be the entry for this? Ravi account should be debited, and since it is a one-sided error, the other account to be corresponding account to be credited is suspense account, because the effect of all those errors which are present in this trial balance is contained in suspense account. Hence our entry will be Ravi account debited to suspense account with 2000. Now what will happen with this? Now suspense account is being credited, so we'll write by Ravi account 2000, then Ravi's account will be debited by 2000. Now in this trial balance, Ravi's account is having a debit balance of 10,000. With a further debit balance of 2000, his amount will become, debit balance in his account will become how much? 12,000. So it will become now 12,000. We'll go for totaling later on. This was our first mistake which we have rectified. Now second is purchase book undercast by 1000. Now you see, if purchase book is undercast by 1000 rupees, that means it has been totaled less by 1000 rupees. Hence purchase account is a debit balance and this total has been posted to purchase account. So that means purchase account has been debited 1000 less. Again, it is an error of commission that you have wrongly casted your subsidiary book. Okay. Hence, here we will debit our purchase account and credit suspense account with 1000 rupees. So it will be purchase account debited to suspense account 1000 rupees. Purchase to suspense 1000 rupees. Now again suspense account is being credited, so it shall be by purchase account 1000 rupees. Now with this purchase account will be debited further by 1000 rupees. Now in trial balance purchase account appears at 450. That's a debit balance. Now with this 1000 more, its balance will become 4,51,000. So with this increase, this becomes 4,51,000. Third mistake is posting from purchase book was done on debit side of Sunil account rupees 3,000. You see, when we buy goods on credit, we enter them in purchase book, and from there all those creditors are credited, right? So instead of crediting the fellow, we have debited that fellow by how much? 3,000. So what has happened actually? Purchase account has been properly dealt with, but instead of this man Sunil being credited, he has been debited 3,000. So what we shall do? First, to offset the wrong debit of 3,000, we must credit him with 3,000. Okay. Then the rightful credit, which actually he has supplied goods to us, he should have been credited. So another credit of 3,000 we must give to him. That means in nutshell, we shall credit Sunil by 6,000 and corresponding debit will go to suspense account. So our entry shall be suspense account debit to Sunil 6,000. Suspense account debit to Sunil account. I hope you have understood it, why it is 6,000. One 3000 is first to offset the wrong debit given to him, and another 3000 is to give him the rightful credit for the goods supplied. Okay. Now with this, suspense account will be debited. Posting will be done like this: to Sunil account 6000. Now in this case, Sunil has been credited 6000. Already Sunil's account is on credit side and it has 12,000 credit balance. With 6,000 more credit balance, his balance will become 18,000. Okay. So let us make it 18,000. Next mistake is Naresh account debited from sales book as 12,000 instead of 1200. You see, it can happen. It's a zero only. Sales Naresh account debited from sales book as rupees 12,000 instead of 1200. That means we supplied goods to him on credit for only 1200 rupees. But by mistake, we debited his account by 12,000. Now that means what? We have over debited him by 10,800. That is 12,000 minus 1200. So how to rectify it? It is quite simple, that poor fellow has been debited 10,800 more. So rectification should be, we should credit him by this amount. So entry should be suspense account debit to this man. What is his name? Naresh. Okay, with 10,800. So entry should be suspense account debited to Naresh. Suspense account debit to Naresh, that is with 10,800. Okay, now suspense account is being debited here, so it will be like this: to Naresh account 10,800. And Naresh account is being credited by 10,800. And where is Naresh account? It is here, debit side, 12,000. So debit balance in his account is 12,000 and he is being credited here by 10,800. So that means net effect will be his balance in Naresh account will be only 1,200, which was actually the rightful amount. So now this 12,000 will change to 1,200. Okay, I hope this is quite clear. So next mistake is commission account was wrongly totaled as rupees 3,000 instead of 3,500. That means in the cash book, the discount column, the commission column, not in the cash book actually, commission column in ledger was totaled as how much? 3,000 instead of 3,500. So that means commission account is showing debit balance of 500 less. So what shall we do? We should simply debit the commission account, right, and credit the suspense account. So entry shall be commission account debited to suspense account 500. Commission account debited to suspense account 500 rupees. Okay. With this, what is going to happen? Your commission account will increase by 500. It is already appearing at 3,000. So now it will become 3,500. Okay, and suspense account will be credited by 500 by commission account 500. So these were the errors. Now if all the errors have been rectified, then the balance in suspense account will be 0. Let us see. This side's total is 16,800 and this side's total is 13,500. Now where is the difference? Actually, suspense accounts credit balance of 13,300 we should have brought forward. So we bring it forward now by balance brought forward. Actually, it should have been better here. That was missed actually earlier. So when you put 13,300 here, it becomes 16,800. So that means your trial balance will not tally because all those errors which resulted in a difference of 13,300 have now been rectified. So we will remove now suspense account from here and we will see whether our trial balance tallies or not. Let us check out. This side's total is how much? This total is 6,33,000. And what about this side? $6,33,000. So our both sides are tallying. That means now we have rectified all the mistakes which were making this trial balance not tally. Are you sure we have removed all the mistakes? I mean, we can say so that now we can say that arithmetically at least our books of accounts are correct. But still there could be certain mistakes which are still there, which are not being depicted by this tallied trial balance. Which are they? For example, if there is an error of principal, or if there is an error of total omission, or in errors of commission, if wrong amount has been taken in the original books of accounts. I'll give you an example. For example, machinery purchased for rupees 1 lakh was debited to purchase account. Error of principal. Now what shall be the rectifying entry? It shall be machinery account debited to purchases. If we rectify this, what will happen? This machinery account will become 2,05,000 and purchases will reduce by 1 lakh. So this will become 3,51,000. You see, our tallied trial balance did not depict this mistake. This was an error of principal. Another, goods bought from John were omitted to be entered in purchase book 5,000 rupees. It's an error of total omission. Now what will happen if we record this entry? Journal entry for this should be purchase account debited to John account credited. With this, your purchases will increase by 5,000. That means it will become 3,56,000. And John account will appear on credit side as 5,000. Okay? Let us see if there are other mistakes which can be of this kind. For example, purchases of 5,000 from Narayan recorded in purchase book as 15,000. You know what has happened because of this? Though we bought goods for only 5,000, but they were recorded in purchase book as 15,000. With this, our purchase account has been debited more by 10,000 and Narayan has been credited more by 10,000. Now how to rectify it? Simply Narayan has been over credited by 10,000, so he will be debited. Narayan account debited 10,000 and purchase account credited 10,000. What will happen with this? Narayan's account, which is standing at credit of 15,000, will become 5,000 only, right? And our purchase account, which is appearing at 356, will become actually 346. That's all. And let us see another entry which is actually not affecting our trial balance, but still a mistake. A sale of rupees 500 to Naresh was posted to Sunil account. That means actually we sold goods worth 500 to Naresh, recorded properly in the sales book. So it has gone to sales account properly, no harm done here. But instead of debiting Naresh, we debited Sunil. Why this poor fellow Sunil shall suffer? So what shall we do? We should credit Sunil and debit the rightful person, that is Naresh. So entry shall be Naresh account debit to Sunil. So Sunil's account will get a further credit of 500. So his account is appearing at 18,000, will become 18,500, and Naresh, whose account is appearing at 1200, will become 1700. You see, all these 3 or 4 errors which I have just shown you, they were not affecting our trial balance because they were affecting 2 accounts. That's why they were not affecting trial balance. But though they are mistakes, they should be rectified, and we have rectified. Now we shall retotal our trial balance. This is our properly tallied trial balance. So what is the total of this? This side 6,28,500. This side also should be this. Correct. So that means now both our sides are tallying. I think you have enjoyed this chapter. This is a very interesting chapter. And if you have any problems, you can still discuss with me. Thank you.